Okay, great, great. So, should I start?
Please, yes.
All right. So, first of all, I want to apologize for the cancellation of the yesterday presentation. It was a problem with our provider, and I'm very, very happy to be part of this realization of the idea of a global shared network of knowledge and information. And I also envy all of you that are in Barcelona and IAAC. So,
you guys know here, Manny.
I'm going to
Manny, let me just introduce you a little bit here. I think it takes like a few seconds for But Manny is a graduate. Him and another graduate, Tehran, have been starting the Fab Lab Tehran over there. So it's very nice to have our alumni leading these kinds of institutional initiatives in different locations. So we're very happy to be connected with them. Hopefully they remain connected. Okay, sorry, just introducing you a bit here, man.
Please. Okay, so thank you. So I'm going to introduce you the IGSS 2013, which we have called it the density. So when you go, actually see the definition of the productive city, the IGSS 2030, you will see that it's about the production of energy, food, knowledge, and inhabitants. So, but what we have chosen in the IGSS Tehran is about knowledge. So we want to focus on the phenomena of the technology like technical. So we say that we will have to visualize the problem that we are having in Tehran and to see if they would help the people who decide in this city to make the best decisions. So what we are going to do in Tehran is to design and make tools for extracting, processing, and representing the data. This is something that probably most of you have seen in many research studios or universities around the world that has been done by art and urban designer. One of our main samples for this is the Sensible City in MIT. So as you can see here, these are some projects that are dealing with the extraction of data, processing, or a unique way of representing it. But what are we going to talk about? What is the subject that we are collecting the data and processing them? Well, it's about Tehran, our city. But to be more precise, it's about the growth of the density in Tehran. If I want to explain briefly the phenomenon of growth of density, is that since maybe 2 or 3 decades ago, we have an explosion of density in Tehran. This was because of many reasons, but maybe one of the most important one was that the municipality has given so much more permits of density to the builders because they wanted to have more revenues for political purposes. And on the other hand, you would have some people on the building market that they are actually not neither architects or urban designers. The people who are making these buildings in Tehran, there are some people that in Farsi we call them besaz befush, which means build it fast and sell it fast. So what are we going to do we want to see how this growth of density, how this explosion of buildings in Tehran is affecting the daily life of Tehraners. We have seven participants here, so we're going to have 7 groups and 7 visualizations, 3 groups and 3 visualizations, and we have also a project that we temporarily call it Project Alpha. It's a project that the tutors are going to do during the workshop. I'm going to explain very, very briefly the Project Alpha to you because it's actually just getting started to develop, and then I will ask the students to come and explain their own project to you. So the Project Alpha is about using the technology and the new software and hardware to see what these builders are going to build in next few months in our neighborhood, and to criticize what they're building since they are not professional. We want to share what they're doing among the people and criticize what they're doing. How we're going to do that? We all know that we are now being able to use the augmented reality techniques that they are being used to tag some places in different parts of the city to show some more information than the reality that we conceive. So we thought that we would have the 3D buildings, and so be able to that when you use your phone in front of construction buildings, you would see the future of it, and you would be able to criticize it and evaluate it maybe in the network societies like Facebook. So you may be able to pursue the builders to build at least their facade in a better way. Maybe a little bit weird for you that the facade can be changed after the structure has been made, but this is a very, very common thing in Tehran, that the builders actually, they make their buildings and afterward they design their facade of the building. So this is what we're doing as our Alpha project, or maybe the Project Zero. We just started to develop it. We are having some iOS and Android developers here helping us to make a small prototype of this project. So if you let me, I will ask the Group 1 to come and explain to you their project, which the name is evacuation.
Hello? No, we don't hear you. Now I hear you. Tehran, the sound is suddenly not so good. Now?
It's now a busy metropolitan area of more than 15 million people. The city is still changing and is attracting more inhabitants, but in the 21st century, can you hear us now?
Louis, can you hear us?
They showed before. Thank God everything is recorded because it sounds really bad and nobody's here, so we can watch it. I don't know what later means, but it's great. Today we will watch 3 or 4 lectures from Barcelona.
Luis, can you hear us?
Now, yes. I can only hear you, Mani.
Okay, so
I can't hear any of your participants. Just you. You have the magic voice.
so do you want us to start from the beginning or just the first project?
No, we heard everything from what you were talking about, but this evacuation, we haven't heard the premise.
So we start from the beginning of the evacuation. Okay, all right.
Hola Barcelona, Merhaba Istanbul, we start again. We hope the sound quality is better now. The city of Tehran is an ever-changing city. It's the capital of Iran, you know that. The change can be natural, social, economical, and in this case, demographic. Tehran experienced its major demographic change in the 1980s, the years of the war with Iraq, and the city attracted many refugees and settlers from the rest of the country who were in search of safety and better economic situation. It's now a bustling city of 15 million people. The uncontrolled and unplanned growth continues today, but in opposition to the change of the 1980s, this change is not causing an urban sprawl because the extent of the city doesn't change. It's now the problem is that single-story houses are being replaced by high-rise residential buildings in the city center, and the historic zone. So, you know that it increases the population density in this, but roads don't change, and the transport system remains. That's the main problem. Well, I can see very narrow, very narrow alley in the redeveloped with higher buildings, but the road remains the same. So they all want to circulate in the existing road system of the city. Also, another change is natural one, and hazards like air are very prominent in the city that is situated in a geologically active area.
1 second, I don't mean to interrupt you, but maybe it would be helpful if you turned off the camera.
The visual periods of sorry?
I think if you could turn off the camera, maybe that'll help the sound. Yeah. We'd love to see your faces, but at first it looks like you're working in a cave, very dark. Right. Number two, yeah, it would be maybe it would help the connection, the sound.
No, because we have turned off the light for the projection.
I see. Okay. No, I think it's best if you turn off the camera for now. I think that would help the sound come through a little bit better.
Okay, I have to. Yeah, I think I've turned it on.
So continue with the project. No. Yeah. In the next slide, we see a map of major faults in the location of Tehran. We can see that we have a very well dispersed faults and active seismic regions that surround Tehran in all directions, which can possibly be very dangerous should it not dealt efficiently. So what happens when the weighted earthquake finally hits the city? It's a major discourse. It's a major topic, and it's a big topic among university scholars, the municipality officials, the government officers, and of course, it's a major concern of every citizen of Tehran. So, what will happen when it hits the city and the roads are blocked? Will the debris from the destroyed buildings completely block the narrow access roads? Will it not hamper the rescue operations and the fleeing people from the affected area? So we want to simulate a pattern of the movement of people and their vehicles in the streets, transportation nodes, and the squares of Tehran. When a major 5 or 8 Richter scale earthquake strikes. So much of our data is now available online, and we can use it. But we're going to process these data, overlay them, and then visualize the outcome. Especially trying to use the programs and techniques that we are currently learning in the IAAC summer school, like processing language algorithms, agent space simulation using GIS, and data visualization modeling. So we're going to use these data that are listed here for sure, and we'll try to add more. We already have these, but we're going to map them and then process them. And what we're looking for is to predict the behavior of the roads and the problems that these high-rise buildings in the old quarter of Tehran will cause. We will also calculate the maximum safe density. I mean, we're going to make a process that would calculate once the data is given to it for any given street or pathway in the city. And then we're going to visualize it in a simple, understandable, and sensible way. Thank you for your attention. That is it.
Wow. That's pretty intense stuff. Very interesting.
So should we ask for the second group to introduce their project?
Yes, please.
All right. So the second project is called the fading. Romkin is going to introduce their project.
Well, hello everybody. Our project is called Fading. Well, our project is called Fading, and I'm going to start. Tehran's population is increasing incredibly fast, and this matter is making Tehran more and more dense every day. And this is some information that you already know. I'm not going to bore you with. But one of the main factors that we are going to work on about the city is that this rate of building construction affects the sense of visibility in the city. So our approach is to determine a factor called ease-of-use to determine it. Ease-of-use, as Bentic described in 1979, is the set of all points visible from a given vantage point in a space. So we are going to examine different kinds of this factor to our project. These factors are, for example, visible amount of sky you can see from the street, or the view you have to the mountains that are in the north of Tehran, or your view to the buildings and landmarks through the city, and the view that you have through urban axis that you are moving on. So our project target is that to find out how does different visibility, or how does different ease-of-use actually look like in all spots of the city, and what will happen in the future if this situation of growth of population and density goes on, and at last, and what will happen if every point if municipality regulations change. So our outcome of the project, to reach our outcome of the project, we need some data such as the current building density or legislated building density, height or topography of the whole city, and some other data that we would process to reach these results. We are going to show the results on some interactive visibility map of the Tehran. So you can see the series factor change through the different locations of the city. And in the right picture, actually, you see a very schematic animation that shows change through the growth of the city and the fading of the visuals that you have. So when the population is growing, you're going to, it shows that how you're going to lose the view range or what we call the visuals that you have from where you're standing. So that was the brief of it. So thank you for your attention.
Very good.
Thank you. So the third group, which is going to introduce the project, which is called Altering the Destination. Hello, Barcelona, and hello, Istanbul.
And
thank you for having me. And hello, Mumbai, too. Nice to have you. So, let me start with the presentation. So, our presentation is starts by a few slides to introduce Azad University and its goals and goals to establish. Let me say Azad University have 61 branches and 1,350,000 students all over our country, and it is established to spread higher education all over the Iran. As you can see in the map, it is distributed all over the Iran in the big and small branches. And so, let me say we are studying at South Tehran branch of this complex, and so on. It is placed on southeastern of Tehran, southeastern part of Tehran, and many people are studying there. In the other slide diagram, we can have a comparison between the students of our university and other universities from Tehran. So, there is some side effects of this application. As you can see, there is many population that have private vehicle to travel, to have a urban travel to our university, and this makes so crowded parkings. Therefore, as we explained, there is many people that studying in our university, so it have a large effect in Tehran area, and somehow it makes more traffic, more air pollution. What happened?
Well, it seems that unfortunately, Pavlab Tehran has dropped out, but I think we can all agree that they're taking on some pretty hefty issues. We're going to restart the connection eventually, so we can see the, let's say, the conclusion of what this last project is dealing with. But I think it might go towards mobility, different alternative methods of transportation in the city. So definitely some big issues. I'm curious to see how the tools are going to, let's say, promote the success of the projects. One of the things they're working on in Tehran, they have kind of like a model of Tehran, a scale model of Tehran, and they can do projection visualizations on top of it, like, and what do you call, augmented reality type of visualization, so you can zoom in with your phone and see different things happening. So this is the kind of their main tool that they're working with, this kind of feedback between augmented reality and projection mapping onto the model of Tehran. I see that now we also have Mumbai connected with us. Deepal is, I see you you have joined the discussion. Deepal, what we've been doing is just kind of discussing, well, this was initially a meeting to see a little bit what's going on in Tehran. A little earlier, I think Tehran might be coming back online. A little earlier, we heard from Istanbul. They kind of just updated us quickly on what's happening there. So I don't know if you would like to tell us what's happening in Mumbai. Where are you guys at the moment working? What's your progress? We'd love to hear about what it is you're doing down there. But I don't think that they either hear us or can respond. Deepal, can you hear us over there? Okay. Well, with this disconnection from Tehran, I think we'll maybe close the. They're coming. Okay. Well, we'll hold up here and hear the conclusion to Tehran's presentation. Can you tell us anything else, being that you're from Tehran? Tehran.
Yes, Tehran. Yeah, okay. In third project, it is going to work with air pollution, because we have a lot of the black data from different parts of the city from air pollution, and it's a really serious problem in Tehran. Most of people they're talking about, and I think there's no solution for that till now, because I know even governments, they're just talking about that, even everywhere, an architect, environmentalists, and every people that I know, they're talking about their pollution, but there's no way to, fix this problem. And if they want to work with that, I think it's going to be a good project. And even the first one and the last one were two main problems that we have in Tehran, because the first one was earthquake, and the last one was like air pollution.
Yeah.
And these two problems, because Tehran is a metropolitan, and as you know, there's like 15 million people over there. So, and so dense, which means the density of the buildings and the streets, it's like in some part of Tehran, it's just like old city in Barcelona, but with like 7 million people or like 6 million people. It's just like crazy. But so in some part, yeah.
So the earthquake thing. So yeah, the last big earthquake was 158 years ago.
Yeah,
and it's 15 years delayed. I mean, it was supposed to happen another one 15 years ago.
Yeah, and all the people are waiting for a big earthquake, and you know, it's just so scary because in the last one, something it happened like 40 years ago next to Tehran, but and it killed like 40,000 people. It was like bad, as you know, and yeah, this is the main problem because most of the high-rise building in Tehran is on the earthquake belt, as you know, and it goes in the middle of Tehran, and most of high-rise buildings over there, and there's no another choice for the people to build somewhere else. So these are the main problem, and if some earthquake is going to happen, it will be.
But I mean, certainly because it's in such a seismic area, there's got to be something in the building code that makes sure that the building structurally can handle a certain amount of seismic activity.
10 years ago, some earthquakes happened in some cities in Tehran, and it killed like 40,000 people again. And something that was really strange was all the buildings that belonged to 100 years ago or 200 years ago, they were soft, and they will they can tolerate the earthquake wave, but most of the new buildings destroyed. And it was a big question because the main question was why we have all the buildings stand in front of earthquake, and all the new buildings just goes away and they're destroyed. So it's not good, and I think there's no answer to from technology today.
You say this.
Every time that the way, you know, the way.
Is a place you're from, George? The particular city has issues off the boat.
Yeah. So every time you change, the goals that's why I'm going. That's why they.
Yeah, this is, I think, this is the main problem. Yeah.
Which they believe them. Government.
Maybe.
Or is
maybe this is the government problem. Yeah. Maybe.
I think I thought was really amazing. Earthquake. You know, and beautiful.
Yeah.
It's in an earthquake zone, but what they did with the columns is they're stone on the outside, but on the inside it's lead. So the lead is flexible and it moves, so in the earthquake the building moves a little bit, and then it's fine. So the new buildings around this incredible old mosque, hundreds of years ago,
Yes.
no cracks.
Okay. Well, thank you for that, Tehran, that insight. Maybe wrap this up.
So we can go back to work, and I think they're not going to connect now, but it's okay, I think.
Okay, Istanbul. Okay, Mumbai. This has been a brief presentation. Hopefully we have, we will have more of these.